Welcome to this presentation of FAAC's latest product, the 500 part task trainer, or as we like to call it, the feeder trainer. So let's take a look at it and walk through it with me, and I'll show you some of the features in that concept that we're looking at here. We call this a virtual instructor student-led system, right? So the virtual instructor comes in where we don't have an instructor in the room here. The student, as you're going to see in a moment, is going to guide themselves through this project or this test, this curriculum at their own pace. Read how much they need to read, drive the scenario. If they pass the scenario and they pass the quiz, then they move to the next exercise, then to the next, to the next, to the next. So it has a progression to it. Let's get started. This is James today, is going to be our student driver. So James already has the system loaded and the first exercise or the first scenario is loaded. We're going to concentrate today on some emergency operation driving. Today we're actually using the LE 500 or the Law Enforcement 500 series, but remember that the 500 is available in all of our disciplines, in police, fire, EMS, transit, and trucking. Any type of discipline where we can isolate certain fundamentals of the safe operations of your system, of your vehicles, into a part task trainer like this, and then feed it into the full task trainer. Let's go ahead and start your vehicle. As he pulls forward, you see we have a heads-up display. We'll use that in a little bit there. That's your gauges and direction. The nice policeman in this case is waving him forward, so he's going to be driving forward. We'll turn our attention now as he pulls up and stops. We get an introduction, page 1. So as you look at that, you could start reading that, and you'll see that this is your lecture. This is the curriculum that we need the students to learn before we advance them out onto the road. So in this case, again, it's emergency lights and siren, the critical component. James reads at his pace. The other students in the room are reading, taking notes. They're reading at it. Everybody got it. He flicks the paddle, switches to the next page. The next page comes up. If we want to interject a video in here, you can interject a video. You can interject policies. Any curriculum that you have, you put in here. The next 6 exercises are an example of. So in this scenario, James could go through 6 different exercises going from simple to complex for emergency response, or a response with lights and sirens, whatever code 3 or whatever term that you guys would use with that. So James clicks that at his pace. He's read it. He's good. The indication on the HUD tells you to drive forward to the next exercise instruction. He'll pull forward to that point, and he's going to begin his first exercise. So again, starting at a basic level, the fundamental level here, we want to teach that to the students that vehicles are supposed, cars, when they hear lights or sirens, or when they come up from behind lights and sirens, they're supposed to pull to the right and get out of the way. But we're going to teach them, first of all, that that's what they do. So they read this lesson here on this exercise, clicks it when he's ready. No more on that one, no more directions. Begin the exercise comes up, they drive forward. We put some hints in front of them, like green arrows to say this is the correct path. The red path, don't get impatient and jump out in the other lane. Stay in your lane. Gets through this. As he pulls forward, he's going to pull all the way up to the quiz stop. When he gets to the quiz stop, what's going to happen is he's going to get a test or a quiz on that particular exercise. So in this case, it's very simple. What was the primary lesson in this situation? He reads it. There's only one answer. The law regarding a citizen is to pull to the right. Okay? So he goes ahead and clicks that answer, and it looks like it's correct, and this goes, and the quiz goes away. His next step is to check vitals. So vitals is the virtual instructor trainee assessment learning system. And what vitals is, as you can see, is it gives an assessment of the students driving throughout all these different exercises or scenarios. We have zones out there, and the zones assess behavior and tell you performance as to whether or not they're doing it good or appropriate or acceptable or not. Green is obviously great. Red is nope, we got to go back and redo that. Yellow is what we call an alert or a warning of predicting behavior, so that if, say, for example, your speed threshold is 45 and you're running at 40, that's an alert that, hey, you're almost at the top of the speed threshold, because you could be back out at 40 or 35, and that's the green zone. So it's based on zones. So here James has 2 red zones here, so he's going to go back. He's going to press those zones first. It's going to take him back. As you can see, the system automatically goes back to where this assessment occurred. He looks at it. What does it say there on your assessment for that, James?
Student entered intersection with no siren active.
So he has no siren activated, and then click the next one back.
Student entered intersection with no emergency lights.
So basically what happened? He went through this exercise, forgot to turn the light sirens on, and it's a lights and siren exercise. So this is a good example of now he's jumped back and he's pressed on those buttons there on that gray box right there, and now he's going to redrive it, and it's with lights and sirens, and watch what happens. So you can remove the vitals. He presses redrive on his touchpad control, says drive the exercise. This time he's going to activate lights. You can see him activate in the screen. Siren is activated, and now he proceeds through the exercise. So the exercise is a reinforcement of what the written curriculum or what he read in the side screen. So it gives a twofold approach, which is much more higher retention than just listening into a lecture, right? If you're hands-on practical app, you could be 65% retention. In lectures, maybe 10-15% retention. He takes the quiz. He answers it correctly again. It's an easy quiz. He gets that. Checks his vitals. His assessment. He looks. No red. All green. Time to proceed. Moves forward to the next instructor station. This sequencing will repeat throughout all of these different exercises. So he pulls up to the next one. Gets his instructions, your next lesson, and if you notice, don't be frustrated by these actions. Always maintain a professional attitude while driving. So now we're going to show him what happens when a vehicle doesn't pull to the right. He's going to go through this exercise. He's read this. He's ready to do the exercise. Go ahead. Begin the exercise. He drives through. You'll see our arrows hint green. This is the path. Then they turn to yellow, which is take a warning. Just because they left you an opening doesn't mean it's safe. You see the car door pop. You see some pedestrian step into the way. He avoids it. He pulls up to the next quiz stop, takes the next quiz. Now this one is a little more difficult. What was the primary lessons in this situation? So he's going to have to read every single one of them and put his answer in there. So there was a pedestrian in the front. Go ahead, James, click your answers. Remember too that this is a generic curriculum that we provide with the system, but you can also put your own curriculum into the system, your own quiz, your own questions as the student goes through it to fit your state, your agency, or your area, whatever you have. He's answered that. Let's check your vitals, James. Looking pretty good. Any reds? No reds and no yellows. So now we can continue forward, and he can finish the other 4 to 6 scenarios, exercises within the scenario. So this is our 500 series virtual instructor student-led system.